how do we balance all of the different areas of our lives as sensitive people in order to find peace in our relationships? I've advised over and over again how important it is for us to have hobbies, have things that make us happy while we're in relationships. I've also advised that we stay in touch with our friends and family or build a community if your friends and family don't work for you. Like, have those supportive people in your life that are outside of your romantic relationship. It's really, really critical because there are going to be times when the romantic relationship is going to go on a little bit of a pause and you want to do something fulfilling and not panic when that happens. But also, what about the times when the relationship is going strong? In a weird way, although it's a happy time, that can also be a challenging time because it's like, how do I possibly fit everything into my life? How do I schedule my time with my family, my partner? How do I exercise? How do I not let that go by the wayside or my sleep go by the wayside? How do I keep everything prioritized and balanced? In this video, I want to propose one of the big answers that I've learned to that is intuition. You might think intuition. You may not understand it at first. I actually didn't understand what intuition meant at first when I first read about it. I was very intellectual, loved to read at the library. And I came across this concept of intuition where you feel into a situation and you know automatically what to do according to your deep, wise self. And some people will call that a spirit that's connected to heaven. Other people might just call that your deeper unconscious. But whatever it is, we all have a sense of intuition as humans. It helped us survive back in primitive times when we were dealing with saber-toothed tigers and we had to run for it if they were going to be at the same watering hole that we were at. That same skill is available to us in our modern times. We don't have to do everything intellectually, and actually we shouldn't try to do everything intellectually. Yes, we should have times where we constructively think about things. That is a good thing, and deep thought can complement our intuition. But when we have so many priorities going on, I experienced this fixing my car recently and trying to keep it in good shape so it can stay on the road and I don't have to buy another one. Like, you have to use your intuition sometimes to problem solve and get something done. And you have something on your to-do list you're hoping to get done. Let's say it's like get rust off of your car, which is what I was doing recently because I live in Ontario and rust happens. I was power sanding, I was sanding by hand, I was using products from Canadian Tire to sand down the vehicle, and more layers of rust kept coming off. Like, I just wanted to finish this to-do item on my list, but more and more stuff kept coming up. And if I had missed that, it would have made the whole exercise of addressing the rust kind of pointless. You have to kind of keep going and going and going until you get all of it. And when we have a to-do list, sometimes we just want to check the item as quickly as possible, but you actually want to spend that time constructively and get to the bottom of whatever it is that you're trying to resolve. And it's worth that extra time to just dig deep and get everything done. And that's where intuition beyond our intellectual mind can help us, because my intuition guided me to keep finding more rust. And had I missed it and just sealed some of it, but not all of it, the rust would have still crept in later and gotten a hold of my car. And it probably still will in a number of years, just because that's the nature of living in my province. It will eventually catch up with me. I used my intuition actually to find more of the rust. And the way that I did that is that I got clear and I tried to have quiet in my mind and just look with my eyes to see if I noticed anything that looked weird, like a weird, out of place, odd shape. And believe it or not, that's actually a really effective way to use your intuition. Just look and see if you notice anything. Don't be too exhausted to miss an important detail. Just keep looking until you find the thing that needs correcting. And sure enough, I saw like a weird brown warped area in the back of one of my wheel wells. And then I sprayed some anti-rust stuff on it. And sure enough, a very large chunk, it looked like poop, fell off the car. And I got a very large chunk of rust knocked out. And I was like, yes, because that probably would have been the rust that was going to eat my car, not the stuff on the surface that I could see and that I was sanding down initially, right? My intuition, this is just one example, really helped me get to the bottom of that priority. And that's one random priority in my day, other than the relationships I have going on, other than the work I have going on, other than my personal projects and hobbies that I have going on. But it was important because saving money on my car in the long term and not buying another one is going to make my life more efficient. It's going to allow me to enjoy the things that I enjoy doing. Thankfully, my income's no longer tied to having a car, so I just have it as a bonus. So what I like to do on it is just fix it myself and maintain as much as I can and spend a little money here and there when I need assistance from a mechanic, and use my intuition and lots of learning from the internet for the rest. So I have that convenience, but I don't need to take on that financial commitment of another car if I don't need to drive for my income. It requires you to calm your mind. So if you're in a constant stressed out state and you can't think very clearly, it's worthwhile, if you want to work on something important, to get quiet and calm before you start. That's going to help activate your intuition to help you notice something that needs to be addressed. If you're constantly sleep deprived or busy, that's when you're probably going to miss stuff that's important, that's going to be critical to the mission, and you're going to check off the thing on your to-do list, and it's not really going to be done. And I don't actually recommend to-do lists that much beyond like maybe a reminder to look at something on a post-it note could be helpful. But actually, when we write down a to-do list and then we cross it off, it can be quite time-consuming, and it also gives you a false sense of security, like it's done when it could not be done. It's actually more valuable, in my opinion, to just focus on what I'm doing and be very clear and pay attention rather than worry about a list, and make sure I've thoroughly done a good job and use my intuition to be that next level of excellent at my job, especially when it's a big unknown like my car. I use it to guide me a lot, and I believe I have ancestors on the other side, like an uncle that passed away who loved cars, who comes in and helps me on the car too. And that's one of my personal beliefs that helps me. May or may not resonate for you, but you can give that a try too. That's part of intuition, and it can be so helpful, and it's really changed my life. So I wanted to share that with you as a resource to help you balance your life when you're incredibly busy with a lot of priorities, including your relationships.